Hey guys! In this session, we'll learn one of the most fundamental concepts in Python, which is variables and data types. This is the most basic topic in Python, and it will help us understand how to store and manipulate data. So let's talk about variables. What are variables? Variables are containers for storing data values. Think of them as labeled boxes where we can store information for later use. Each of these boxes represent a particular type of value, which is called the data type, and the data itself, which is the value stored in the boxes. Let's create a variable in Python and understand how they work. First, we'll create a new Python file called variables. We'll right-click on the source folder in our Project Explorer in pycharm and create a new Python file named variables. Now we'll create a few variables. Let's assume there's a teacher who wants to store the information of a student. He can store them in variables. First, we create a variable named assign it the value alias. Alias is written in double quotes as it is of the type string. Next, we'll create a new variable called age with the value 25. The number 25 is an integer and does not need to be in quotes. Similarly, we have our next variable height with the value 5.7, which is 5 feet and 7 inches. This is a variable of type float. Next, we have a variable called isStudent, which has the value true, which means alias is a student. It is of the type Boolean. It can either be true or false. Now let's print these values and see what happens. To print something in Python, we use the print function. Here is how we can print the values of the variables name, age, height, and isStudent. Now let's run the script to see the results. Here you can see that the values that we assigned to the variables earlier have been printed in the output console. Now let's check if Python has currently identified the data types for the variables we created. We can do this using the type function. So let's print the data type for the variable name, age, height, and isStudent. Now let's run the script once again and see the results. As you can see, Python stored the value of name as string, of age as int or integer, of height as float, and of isStudent as bool or boolean. Here you might have noticed that Python doesn't require explicit data type definition for variables. This means that we don't need to explicitly declare the data type of a variable, like int, string, or bool, while defining the variable, because Python is a dynamically typed language. Python automatically detects the type of data that you assign to a variable. This makes Python simpler and more flexible compared to statically typed languages like Java or C, where we have to declare the type of variables explicitly. For example, in Java, we would have to use the keyword string, int, float, and bool to define our variables, something like this. String name is equal to alias int age is equal to 25 float, height is equal to 5.7 bool. isStudents false. You may ask what's the word for this. The Python interpreter determines the type of the variable at runtime based on the assigned values. This means that the variable can change its type during the program's execution, which is not allowed in static data type languages like Java and Sense. The main advantage of this is that it allows rapid prototyping type, because you don't need to worry about declaring types explicitly. Now that we've seen how to create variables, we'll now see some ways to do this more efficiently. First, Python allows us to assign values to multiple variables in SNL. For example, if we want to assign the same value to multiple variables, let's say A, B, B, C. C should have the same value, then we write type. Good is equal to ct is equal to 1010. Now let's just print these values and see the results. So print R and B, B and C. And here you see that all of the A, B and C are as the same size as 1010. Similarly, if we go to our first exam and want to find name, hi, and this is student, in a single line we can write name, comma, hi, comma is a student, equals is John 15 Dean 5.10, false results. In this example, namer to John 8, 15, Dean, hydride, fiber, and NSN should be shown false. Let's then briefly see what the out of those results are. As you solve all of your results, now have a value of John. Now, order of the value of A and B without this in the temporary world. Write A, B is equal to PB, A. So this will assign the initial value BB, which was 10 to 2A, and another value of A which was 5 to B. Let's print value again and run the script. Here we can see how the values of A and B have been interchanged. We did this without using any variables. Python makes use of a unique feature called tuple unpacking to do this. So in this session, we learned that variables are essential for exploring and using data in our programs. Python supports multiple data types, including strings, integers, floats, and booleans. And variables of different types can be declared in a single line in Python. In the next session, we'll explore operators and how to perform calculations with variables. Thank you.